Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Triple Clowns Weekly Show with Degen Nation. And that's right. And we have a Degen Nation rep with us today, and we're excited to have her again. And that's Bri Mott.
I know I should change my name, right? Yeah.
Bri.
What's up, guys?
Mott. What's up, Bri?
What's up, Bri?
Good to see you. And you can see joining us as one of the clowns today. Well, Bri, you're obviously a clown as well. No offense. But
we've inducted you to the clown world.
Rich Bieglemeier from Horse Racing Radar. We know him. He's been on here a bunch of times. He's one of the family, definitely. So what's up, guys? Everything good with you guys?
Everything's good out this way for sure. Just trying to figure out where we can find some winners. So we tune into the Triple Clown Show for that.
Yeah, everything's good here. It's been a Monday, but not a bad Monday.
All right. So it is
good.
It is. I am here with also Mrs. Big News, beautiful Sarah Marie, and she's going to give you the news. And it's me, the OG Randall Johnson, and I'm just too hot. Call the police and the fireman because I'm
smoking for sure.
Yeah, I make a dragon want to retire, man. So I'm too hot. If you don't believe me,
but I think you should just keep going for sure.
I
want to see how far this can go.
All right.
Well, that's it for the show, and we're done.
Absolutely, but we are going to be here. We're going to play a game later on. We're going to play a Who's the Horse's Ass game.
Oh boy, my favorite.
I won.
You have one before, Rich, but he hasn't been on for one of the games. That'll be a lot of fun. But we'll go over the news. We'll talk some horse racing. We'll have some fun. So let's get into it, Mrs. Big News. Let's talk about it.
All right, we have a lot in the news, some controversial stuff, but we're going to start off with a really good story. Yoel Rosario taking the title at Kentucky Downs. I mean, we always call him Yoel, but it's Joel. Yep, but he broke the record for most meets or most wins in the single meet at Kentucky Downs. The record was 12, and he came with 17.
He almost beat the record in the first weekend.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't even fair. I mean, well, I guess it's fair, but
Saturday, I think, was the only day he had no wins.
Yeah.
This past Saturday.
I can confirm that because when we do our live show, we were talking about how Joel Rosario wins every race there, and then he didn't win any. So I feel like we jinxed him.
yeah,
We kind of brought that up too on our show. So I think we collectively jinxed him. So I could say with Kentucky Downs meet, he did not suck.
all right. Anything on that, guys? Joel,
I think this whole entire year has been awesome for jockeys. It's been a huge change up in who normally wins the meets. And so I think it's been fun to see Joel, take this title, and it'll be interesting to see who takes October at Keeneland.
Yeah.
No, that is.
I would say the only really track that was no surprise was Del Mar, where Flavian got the winningest jock yet again.
Mm-hmm.
Hernandez is creeping up, though.
He
doesn't get as good rides. I mean, but
I agree with Bri that it has been an exciting year to watch some of these jocks. I don't feel like you hear about as much coming into the spotlight.
We need more odds on winning the jockey title. We need to spotlight that. I think that would be cool. Tell us what you think, everybody out there, and we'll do something for that if we have to, because I think that's kind of a cool thing. We'll set the odds if we have to. I won't because
don't ask me. Maybe we'll have Rich do it then.
Yeah, I try to set the odds. I'll figure it out. I'll go through it and see who we feel like is going to win. So whoever wants to win,
Rich.
Yeah, we're going to get a lot of emails from people. Don't put me on the top. Don't put me on the top.
All right, but let's move on. We had more updates on the Amber Cobb situation where they did extend her suspension. She is now banned from doing training or racing in Delaware until the hearing starts. And depending on the outcome of that hearing, there hasn't been a date set as far as I've heard. And also the Stronach group has come out and said for all of their tracks, she is banned from training or racing at any of their tracks.
Yeah. You wonder, and I know, Bri, you have something to say about this, and Rich probably as well, but I'll just say, and I've said it on my other shows, so I mean, I don't need to go off on this woman anymore. I mean, I should, but what do you do then? I mean, it's like the cancel culture. I mean, I'm not saying that, but like when you get caught just being a douchebag nowadays, I feel like just walk away. Go find a job, 7-Eleven. I don't know, whatever you're gonna do. But just walk away. Why would you put yourself through that?
No owners are gonna give her a horse. They'd be stupid.
No, and you're just gonna be
But-
looked at like such an asshole. And
Yeah.
I'm used to that. I'm used to being looked at like an asshole. So it's not
You
a
make it
fun
easy.
thing, you know.
You make it easy though.
No.
A likable asshole though. She's not a likable
a charming
asshole anymore.
asshole.
Like
No,
the likable
listen.
part is over.
Yeah, she doesn't even have that.
Yeah.
So it's got to be terrible. So yeah, what do you guys think about this? I mean, you guys haven't been on for the show.
I'll say, so I actually am proud of horse racing I mean, I guess you could go into 2020 as well. I think the entire industry is realizing how important public perception is, and that it does and it will affect our sport moving forward stronger and stronger. And so the tracks collectively are starting to react and kind of take some no nonsense approaches. And I'm sure Sarah will hit on something else that's going on the Derby Trail per se. But yeah, it's different in our world of sports compared to NFL because you are dealing with animals that you could argue don't have a choice. They love to run. I will argue that all day. So that when I say they don't have a choice, they do in that percent, but it is our job to put them first and to care for them. So when you have a shit show, what Amber Cobb, did and got caught on camera, I mean, sorry, but sorry, not sorry. Like you can't do that. And to me, you really can't come back from that. That to me, and I'm going to open up a can of worms here. Like Michael Vick, no offense, Michael Vick, I don't care for you. I don't care that you're rehabilitated and you've donated, don't care. What you did to me shows what type of a person that you are. And Amber, for whatever reason, she has it in her, she had it in her, and this one got caught on camera. Imagine what doesn't get caught on camera. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Funny
Yeah, I
Sam's
agree.
a big fan of our show, oddly enough.
Oh yeah,
no.
totally. But what I'm interested in, and who hasn't, at least as far as I know, who hasn't said anything or come out to say anything, her boyfriend is the lead jockey at Delaware.
ooh.
They've been together for a long time, and
She kind
But
of,
what can you really say though?
Yeah.
oh,
At
trust
least
me,
come
no.
out
I
and
mean,
be
that,
like, I
that
dropped
guy's
the
in a
thing.
that
Yeah.
guy's in a no-win situation. I mean,
Yeah, like it screws him.
we all know
over.
this as
Oh yes, as a guys, yeah, whatever. Dude.
relationships,
Well,
we know this.
You're welcome.
Have you ever seen like the comedians? You finally get along when you go, "Yes, honey, you're right." Right? That's how it goes.
I mean, but it does put him in a tough
See, Rich
spot.
Randy hasn't learned that part yet.
Well, he'll
You're
learn.
wrong about that.
Mhm.
Get it?
I get it.
But you're right. It puts him in a tough spot,
Yeah.
which I'd be really mad about that. Like,
Yeah.
not only did you do that, you put me in, well, okay, this is me being totally narcissistic here because I'm like, hey, I don't care if you beat the horse, but look at the position you put me in. No, that's not real, but
Well,
for real though,
But it is real though because
honey,
it has
you really
consequences
screwed
for
my
that person
career
too.
You want to
Yeah.
go screw your career, go do it. But you just screwed our household up. I mean, I don't know how close they are like that. Is their husband or
Boyfriend, but they've been together for quite some time.
Now I feel like I'm on a Bravo's 10 at 10 breakdown of reality television here. We're talking about relationships
this
here.
is what we do.
Yeah.
We
get
our
into the-
counselor. I did work for Oprah before. This is a true story.
True story. You
Yeah,
did.
I
Yeah.
I
You
was-
did? Oh, I feel bad for you.
I was on a show. I didn't know.
He didn't
Were you?
directly
I won't tell the story because I'm in Chicago. She used to work out at the East Bank Club where I used to work out. And the Oprah you see on TV wasn't necessarily Oprah that I saw that day. I'll just leave it at that.
That's
I was
surprising.
on Oxygen. I was on a show on Oxygen. That's it. She's
Mm.
I don't think did you I don't even think you really saw
Gail
her.
King, her best friend. I worked after her show. That's it.
Maybe
So
she was
last
just
point
having
to
a bad
that-
day when I saw her. I don't know, but it was
Well,
not what I expected.
I was just gonna say, yeah, you gotta people are human, celebrities are human. Bad days, and even to the Amber Cobb situation, to cancel culture, that sort of thing. I mean, it was a mistake, whatever. But again, you're in a profession that you can't make those mistakes, and so
Yeah,
you're
you
just
can't-
gonna
It's
have
yeah.
to
it's
find-
one of those things that you want to say. How do you do that nowadays, knowing a camera could be on it? But you shouldn't do it anyway.
and
So it's
also
not like you should do it if there's no cameras on you, but it's even dumber.
this
It makes it
wasn't
dumber.
the first this story of her abusing the horse was basically the straw that broke the camel's back. She has other violations from horses
Well, if a
dying
guy's
suspiciously. From the day earlier, the same horse was rearing up with her, and she's like manhandling the horse, but not in a way to,
But if
garner the lead of that horse, but in a way of
if you're pulling out your
acting in
camera,
violence.
if you're pulling out your camera, that means you're ready. This means it's happened before. It's
Yes,
not
and
like
it
all of a
has.
sudden you're like, oh, this is a weird moment. Let me find my phone.
The
Who
only
took the video?
A room
Her
or something.
boyfriend.
her work. Oh God, no.
Wasn't it a groom?
It worked. Yeah, she works with Amber.
Amazing.
Her name is.
That,
I
I mean,
don't-
that takes some balls right there too. So
Yeah.
bravo to whoever did that. It's like more people in the industry need to do stuff like that because it's very scary to stand up against the bigger
Exactly, because at that point you're like, where could my career go? I could be
Mhm.
out of a job, and let's just face it, maybe she's not, in a position that's making a whole heck of a lot of money, but she did a big written statement. And in the initial hearing of this is what caused the suspension to go from 2 years down to 60 days was the commissioners basically said it was a she said situation where Whitaker's written report wasn't matching up to how they felt Amber was even representing herself in court and the character witnesses that they had brought in. They're like, we can't corroborate anything you've
Did a
written.
video.
That was the
Well,
only
yeah,
thing-
that.
She had written
Yeah,
about
I was trying to understand
horses
that.
that have died in her care, and a few other horses that had been acting up, and Amber basically showing violence towards the horse.
Mhm.
The video was the one thing that they were like, okay, yeah, we can corroborate that, but she went in like with freaking bullets in the chamber. Whitaker did, to go after Amber Cobb, and I feel like the commissioners were like, well.
Like she
Is
had a
there
bad
something
day.
else there?
Like I have friends
Yeah.
that have had one bad day and are in prison now. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is. Like you fuck up that bad, you
You
fuck
fuck
up.
up, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you can't, and that's a line to me in this, in this industry. And I mean, we can talk about horsemanship all day. There are some trainers that don't have horsemanship, but then they have to lean on the grooms, the exercise riders, the ones that touch the horses every day, and the trainers kind of create the training schedule and do statistics. Then there's other ones, Todd Pletcher. I mean, I've heard this from so many people. He puts a hand on every single horse's leg every day. But horsemanship is a part of this game, whether it's you or someone else. And part of horsemanship too is if a horse is acting up, how you treat them in that moment. And for me, like I have a shit as a horse. Like he is a shit sometimes. And I'll tell you, like I had a bad day at work the other day and I was supposed to ride and do some training. And I called and I said, hey, like today's not the day for me to ride because I'm not going to treat him correctly if I'm frustrated. Like you as a rider have to do right by them all the time. You as a trainer have to do right. A groom have to do right. And that's the industry that you're signing up for. And if for some reason you can't do it on a day, then you walk away. If you can't do it anymore, then you run the freak away. Like our industry is a different ballgame and we have to constantly do better. And Amber Cobb obviously failed that miserably.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well put, Bri. And I did want to point out that you alluded to that, Bri, but people don't know is, she's a horse person. Like she has horses. Like I don't know.
I ride.
Yeah, she
People like
rides
being an
horses.
equestrian. I was like, that's a big word for I just ride
What does that
and
mean?
just light my money on fire with a horse.
Yeah. Well, no, but you handle horses. You have your whole
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Well, not your whole life, but a lot of your life. Right. So yeah, I mean, this is probably touches you more than anybody.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
rode
I
one horse
started
one
out
time.
hot walking for Zito. So like I saw, and to be honest, I don't think I ever saw anybody like handle a horse ever that way. Like for the most part, the grooms love their horses. Like even if the horse is a jerk, like they'll go in there and the horse will be biting and they'll be like, around it. And again, like the majority of people in our industry are here. I mean, just like we are sitting right here, 9:00 at night when we could be doing other things. We're here because we love the industry. We love the animals. For the ones that don't put their care first, they have to go. We have no room for them.
No, and if you get to that point, then walk away. You know, when you get to
Indeed.
that breaking point, walk away. It's like anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's move on.
Let's go on to another person. Good
Does
old
his
Bob.
first, I was gonna say, yeah, the first letter and the third
Who?
letter are the same with the O in the middle.
Bob who?
Bobby Baffert, my
Bobby.
Bob Hope.
Oh, Bob Hope. Okay.
Yeah, Bob Hope. We're gonna talk about him and
He's at an airport. California.
yes, he does. All right. No, but Bob Baffert. So NYRA has officially issued charges against Bob and Marcus Vitale. The hearings are going to start later this month. So they are continuing the ban of having any Baffert trained horses at NYRA tracks, as well as Churchill. Churchill has come out with their schedule of Kentucky Oaks and Kentucky Derby prep races, and Bob Baffert is banned from those. Now, what they said, though, is that how they worded it was really weird. You kind of have to read into it, because at first they said he's just not allowed to get the points. So you're like, well, okay, so he can at least run in the preps, which I'm sure at some tracks he will be able to.
Oh, he would
such
love
as-
to win all the preps.
I
and not get
know.
the points.
I don't even
Um,
really think that's his plan, to be honest with you.
He's just gonna. Well, he came.
I think
out firing-
he's just trying to pull the finish line out to the Breeders' Cup, and then he's gonna walk away.
And the Breeders' Cup is another big day that has gotten so many questions, because Bob Baffert's going to have horses running in the Breeders' Cup. And a lot of the people on the board for the Breeders' Cup have horses trained by Baffert. And I know some people are like, he shouldn't even be allowed to run the Breeders' Cup. I know California, we are still allowing him to run out here.
But they said before the Breeders' Cup meet that they were going to follow whatever Churchill or Kentucky's commission did.
Yeah.
They
And
did.
So I think the game plan is get to the Breeders' Cup, probably Gamine wins, and then he wraps it up, because I think unless he's really dense, the writing's on the wall.
And you know, when this first started, because we talked about it yesterday with Chip, the whole Medina Spirit case, this is not going to be resolved in 2021. Medina Spirit, as far as 2021 has crossed the finish line first, has won, because there's not going to be any movement in this case till next year. I mean, it took them almost a year for the Arkansas Derby ruling that happened in 2020. They finally, in April this year, settled that case. So Bob, I agree with you. The writing's on the wall, and I said it from the beginning. I think it's time where Bob just says F you and retire.
Well, it's kind
He
of
has the title, he has the money, he did what he could in this industry. Now he was going to be under the microscope for the Derby this year anyways, and now it's just going to be even worse.
Yeah. I mean, we just.
I think there's just too many dog ate the homework excuses.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you think about the excuses, they accidentally put the ointment on, and I mean, there's always they gave him the wrong food. He ate out of the wrong trough. It just seems to me like a little kid who didn't do his homework.
It's
Yeah.
Remember like when you used to go home and I'll use an example of when I was younger. Me and my buddy used to get in a lot of fights, and every time was an excuse. And then you get to an age where you're like, maybe it is my fault. Maybe I am doing something wrong.
Maybe I was
Once
the
in a
asshole.
while, it was true. But you know, yeah, you really, but once again, walk away, because do you want to be the asshole? Do you want to go through this? You have millions of dollars. Like, where's your ego at? Like, just walk away. Just walk away.
How old is he? How old is he now?
God, Bob Baffert's got to be. Hold on, I'm gonna look. He's got to be 70.
Yeah, I would
right?
say late 60s, early 70s, maybe.
I just think that when you look at what's happening and with the rulings, like you're mentioning, he is the face of the sport, or was the face of the sport for a while. And right now that face is tarnished because of it's the biggest race, the biggest showcase, and the tracks, NYRA wants to get rid of him. Obviously, Kentucky's had enough of him. And I feel like that even his friends in Delmar are like, well, we're going to wait to see what happens over there. They all know what's going to come. I mean, at the end of the day, he's going to get suspended. And if you're an owner and you're spending millions of dollars on horses, and your horses can't go on the trail to go into the biggest races, who's going to give him a horse to train?
Well,
So they're basically going to end his career for him. So I think he should do the smart thing and realize what's happening to him and say, okay, let me just get to the Breeders' Cup. I'll retire, and then we'll just call it a wrap.
Yeah, we you know, Rich, you said that we did that at my racehorse. We had 3 horses with Bob Baffert, and when the Churchill thing came out, Spendthrift made the decision mostly, but we took the horses away from him, the 2-year-olds, because because no one wants to invest in a horse that doesn't have a shot at the Kentucky Derby. And it's funny you said that because that's kind of what happened. He's 68, by the way, Bri. 68. So, I
God,
mean,
he's younger than I thought.
I thought he was like 73, 74. I was kind of going there,
Well,
but
when you have white hair for 30 years, you're always.
I was
gonna
gonna,
think
It's
you're
true.
old.
gonna say the hair throws you off.
Yeah,
he does look like he,
I know it's in style now, but
yeah.
he does. We
Ever since you got it. So
me, speaking of which, funny jokes, man. The last couple of weeks, I don't know when this all started, but I started going into stores and people started asking me if I'm eligible for the senior discount. And I was just like, oh man, please.
like
no.
we've gotten there.
That's
I
just
remember when people
sucks.
first started calling me sir. You remember that? Does you guys ma'am? Do you guys get ma'am? Bri? Have you gotten ma'am
It
yet?
took me a while. It took me, I mean, and I'm in the South, so a lot of people do it, but it took me a
Yeah.
long time to be okay with it.
It's odd when you hear it at first.
Like,
Although-
sir.
Yeah, but senior discount's different. It's
Yeah,
a,
but I-
it's
Or
a
the
whole
or
different
you
game,
get the
man.
AARP magazine all of a sudden, you're like, what?
I know, you're
Why
like,
is this in my mail?
Wait a minute. When I was at Del Mar a few weeks ago, a kid, he was there promoting stuff, asked me if I was 25, and I was like, I like you.
Great
I'll take
salesman.
that.
This
It
is
would be.
salesman.
Yeah.
So also, I'm going to add on to and I'm not going to make it specific to him because it really covers, I mean, it covers any of these, poor stories in our sport. But for instance, like Tito's is a perfect example. Tito's is pulling out of sponsorships in horse racing. Like they can't support a sport where, animal welfare is in question. And so you wonder why, if you look at like the number of sponsors that racing has, even at like a local track, or even like if you look at NBC, a lot of the stuff with NBC comes because of NBC, but not actually at the track. Like we've got, Heineken, Budweiser. I mean, you've got kind of like the Bush Hog type stuff, but you're losing opportunities for everyone else because people won't touch our sport because it puts their brand in jeopardy in a public perception. And so, again, collectively, you have to understand that our sport is hurting because you aren't putting a stop to this stuff. And it's hurting in so many different avenues, including partnerships, sponsorships, fans, new fans, betting dollars, even like sports bettors. There's some that obviously care about animal welfare and won't touch our sport, even though they would bet thousands of dollars if they felt that it was something different. So yeah, I'll put that because that was a personal conversation I had to have with a couple brands that they just were not interested anymore in horse racing. And you're like, shit, like who else are we going to go to anymore?
Yeah.
But they'll still advertise with the NFL.
Yeah.
Come on, they really have morals.
I did bring up Michael Vick. I mean, that to me is
Not
still
even
like
Michael
an enigma,
Vick.
like how
Listen,
quickly
but to go back on Michael Vick, I mean, listen, Michael Vick was gone from the Falcons. The reason why they didn't even want him back was because of the owner there, Arthur Blanc, right? Arthur Blanc, is that what it is?
Yeah, the guy from Home
Home
Depot.
Depot. And they were like, people were like, we're not going to Home Depot anymore if you bring him back. And that's a big thing. He was like, oh, fuck this, I'm out. You can go anywhere, and whoever the Eagles owners are probably don't own a company like Home Depot. But it's funny you said that though, Bri, because I've talked to people and back and forth I get that Bob Baffert leaving California. A lot of people are like, oh, they don't have enough horses already. But a lot of people say they would have more horses in racing without
Bring more
Baffert.
interest.
Because he throws like $3 million 2-year-olds in every race, and you're like, you gotta wait and whatever. And more horses would go to other trainers. They get that opportunity. And I've heard a lot of people say there'd be more horses per race in California without Baffert there because they don't want.
Yeah, I've heard little buzzes of that. With how amazing Del Mar is, and Santa Anita is also one of my favorite tracks. The whole California racing product to me, I'm going to use enigma a couple times on here, is an enigma. I kind of don't understand, I guess, why it's regarded as weak. Even Golden Gate, like I like Golden Gate as well. I think that there's a massive opportunity to grow that product there. And I know Stronach has tried, they brought in like different VPs of racing and they've gone through those for whatever reason. I haven't done enough digging per se. But I think that the tracks are there. To me, the population is there. I think you have to, if anything, remarket completely horse racing on the animal welfare side, like to the point of like, we love our horses and that's all over the billboard and like come out as a family. I think that needs to be kind of the new marketing there, because it has been just slaughtered by PETA. And again, maybe it is one person, but just whatever is happening out there, I think has ended up killing the product, both on fan side and horses. And I think there's definitely an opportunity. I don't know, like the tracks are gorgeous. I don't know how.
And the weather.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about a sloppy track. I hate sloppy tracks. You know what I mean? I hate the cold.
There's San Luis Rey, like there's a great training facility up there. Like there, to me, there's so much opportunity for growth there. I don't know why it's struggling, and I really have no opinions of why it's struggling because I don't know. But I do think it could do better for various reasons. I mean, San Diego is amazing. I love LA. Like every time I would go to San Anita, I would pop down to Beverly Hills for one day. I've missed at least 2 flights doing too much of Beverly Hills. I just think the areas are so good for if you're flying in or if you're local, there's an opportunity there. And I don't know what the reason is, but to me, there's an opportunity there.
Yeah, no, I mean, you don't have a better spot to be. I mean, let's face it. And the tracks are beautiful, and you're absolutely right. It's on them.
Yeah.
And
Well, the program that they're doing now, the bonuses that they're giving horses from out of state is working because the fields are getting bigger.
Yeah, and they're gonna
Del Mar
continue
fields
that.
are always a little bigger. So let's see
How Santa Anita plays out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Well, they started that program anyway, Sanity. I think the problem with horse racing is they don't. It's in a lot of ways fragmented, right? Because each state is kind of like its own thing. It reminds me of we were doing this before the show, a little bit of WWE. Like, let me tell you, brother. But I feel like much like the wrestling when I was a kid, it was fragmented. You had different competing, and it wasn't under one umbrella. And then Vince McMahon came in and put it on one umbrella, and it grew. We don't really do a good job of marketing our personalities, right? Because we have. I mean, we talk to jockeys all the time. You guys do too. I don't know if there's anybody who's a happier person than David Cabrera. That guy's always smiling, always happy. Jose Ortiz is a magnetic personality too. Yeah. So we got these great personalities, but nobody knows who they are. Right. Mm-hmm. And then we do have the magnificent horses as well. And I do agree that the mistreatment of the animals is an absolute killer for the sport. But at the same time, I think we have to do a better job of marketing what is good in our sport.
Yep.
And then B, talking to some of the big gamblers. We had Bill Krackenberger on our show from the Showtime series Action. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's all about professional sports betting. The guy bets $10,000 on football games, but won't bet more than $6 on a horse race because the takeouts are too big. So the serious gambler understands the probabilities and the numbers, and they're not going to bet to the same level in horse racing that they're going to bet on sports because they're actually getting truer odds in sports than they are in horse racing. So I think if you want to bring that big money in, you're going to have to level that playing field between sports betting and horse racing so that the odds are true odds.
Yeah, but that's a topic for a different day, because I will just say right now that they can't, because you get purses. You don't get purses for football teams.
Well, I'm talking about the gambler.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not talking, I mean, we don't get a part of the purse.
For the persons. The take goes to the persons.
Well, taxes and the track and other things, but the takeouts are too high. If they can rebate these syndicates, they can give the average horse player better odds.
Half the tracks own the syndicates. That's what people don't realize.
I know.
Well, it'll never change. And I know. I mean, we need that one unity, one governing body.
They're trying.
But
I don't agree with the whole federal government. You name one program in the federal government that works.
That's
true. Yeah. But I mean, we're talking like the NFL with the commissioner.
Yes, I think that would be the appropriate route.
Not the states, not the federal government.
Right.
We're talking the commissioner of the NFL or commissioner of horse racing. But yeah. All right, let's go on.
All right. The last thing I wanted to bring up is jockey Tomas Mejia has been taking off his mount it hasn't been confirmed, but it's been rumored a supposed buzzer in his hand, which I thought this was really interesting, especially for Bri, because Bri tweeted a hint about this. And then, of course, the Twitter trolls tore her up on Twitter, but now it's coming out. He has a hearing.
Scars. It's all over my face.
Yeah.
Breaking the story, Bri. Wow. Hey, everybody, eat crow.
I thought you were going to go somewhere else.
I did too. I was like,
it's not like you haven't gone there before. Why the hesitancy? I don't know.
Yeah, I've said eat a dick a couple times on the show. But yeah, eat crow. because that's what you should do. That Bri, good job for you. And you know what's weird? I'll tell you the truth. I always thought the buzzer thing was like a little bit of urban legend, and maybe once in a while. I heard way more of it now.
Yeah.
And people that I said when I said that to looked at me and went like I was stupid. Like I was like, really? And they're like, what do you mean, really? And I'm like, oh yeah, no, I knew that. I kind of played that role because yeah, I'll be honest. I was like, whoa.
Well, I've only ridden one horse. Would a buzzer actually work? I
don't know.
mean, you think it would actually make the horse go any faster? I mean, I've had people do that to me.
In front of me, if I fucking hit you with a buzzer, would you walk a little faster?
No, I probably
Turn
hit you
around and
back.
punch you.
Yeah,
You
I
probably
mean,
move your head fast,
when
though.
people do like the handshake thing with the buzzer, it doesn't make me run.
You
It makes me
jump,
like
though.
stop. Like, what are
I mean,
you doing?
I don't think that that's the same thing though.
I don't think
Okay,
that's a
so
handshake
first of all,
buzzer.
the handshake buzzer is not what jocks would be using.
Well, what are they using?
They're probably making him just jump, probably out of the gate. I'm going with the buzzer works out of the gate, right? That's probably where.
I'm not an expert. I just have heard that, I mean, it can be used in the stretch, and I've heard of other things that, like, for instance, it can be used to like have the horse lunge forward because
Yeah.
you know if someone flicks you, your instinct is to go like
Yeah.
this. So if
Yeah.
you're but
If I was running and somebody had like one of those tens units on me, and all of a sudden they hit me with like a charge, I'm like, whoa, and I'd go forward.
Yeah.
Somehow I feel like
and
getting
you
hit
move
by a
away,
whip.
you move away from it.
Yeah.
Oh, Rich, you know what? We're gonna do that test. We're gonna have
Okay, whip me, or you're gonna either whip me or buzz me and see which one I
and we're
react
gonna
to more.
choose.
This is
Okay, when I come out there for the
getting real
Breeders'
dark,
Cup,
guys.
that'll be the next. When I come out there for the Breeders' Cup, that'll be the skits.
That's
It's
what
on.
we're gonna do.
It's
Yes,
on.
Yeah.
indeed.
I'm
gonna-
gonna do
Like
it.
Forrest, like in the movie Pulp Fiction, right?
I'll go get a buzzer. What's that guy's name? I gotta get his buzzer. He's got to get rid of it anyway at this point. so
Yeah.
Might as well get it.
I mean, it hasn't been confirmed. All the picture, if you really zoom in, you can hardly see much. So it hasn't been confirmed what
do
exactly
they
it was or
put it?
anything.
When the race is done, do they chuck it? Because they don't really have pockets. They don't put it in
So-
those horse racing radar pants. Do
Like
they?
a drop
So
it in their
some-
boots. Uh-huh.
Some stories are they'll drop them on the track and then someone will pick them up, or they'll hand them off to, an assistant trainer or a trainer so that when they, get off and they go away and they don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
I
People
want that.
find ways to do things.
I want to be buzzer guy. I want to be the guy.
Wanna
that
You
takes-
want to go the guy who kicks like the guy in the NFL who runs onto the field to collect the tee after the kickoff. Huh? That's going to be you collecting buzzers on the horse racing track.
Yeah.
I have like
Oh,
80
God.
buzzers at home. It'd
We're
be
gonna
like-
get banned from the racetrack.
Randy's gonna go out with a metal detector on Del Mar's track and every time.
Yeah.
Well, now
Yeah.
that they opened up Clocker's Corner, we can go really early.
How
and
great
you
of
bring
a
your
show
metal
would that be?
detector.
Me looking for buzzers.
That would be great.
Buzzer detector.
And then at the end, all the ones that you can find, you can buzz me with.
I feel like I could be on
There you
Bravo
go.
with that show. I mean, they suck the bottom of oceans for gold and people watch it. So, fuck, I can
They
look for buzzers.
suck the bottom of
That's
oceans for
that's
gold.
TLC or something. That's
Yeah,
Discovery.
you never saw that? Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
just
the
your
big
terminology though.
Gold diggers.
They
something like
suck the bottom of the ocean.
that. I mean, that's kind of what they do. It's a big vacuum.
Don't they have to get like all the water out first to get to the how does this work?
No, they suck the bottom of the
It's-
ocean out.
Yeah, it's like a big vacuum. It's
If you didn't know, I use
I
big
watched
words.
it. Yeah.
Yes, one syllable.
He's
at all
highly
costs.
educated. All right, let's recap some.
The New England in me.
Oh goodness gracious!
Uh,
Let's recap some races. We had a few graded stakes this weekend at Kentucky Downs on Saturday. We'll start with race 6, which was the grade 3 Mint Lady Sprint, 6.5 furlongs, where In Good Spirits won, followed by Catch a Bid and La Gertha.
Venetian Harbor back running in second and put to a drive. In Good Spirits is third. Go-Go Shoes is there. Jakarta Superstition on the outside into the final furlong here. And it is Lagertha on top. Arriving at the 8th pole on the lead. Coming up the inside. Here comes a rush up the rail from In Good Spirits. In Good Spirits on the inside riding that rail to victory. In Good Spirits. And John Velasquez do it. Catch a bid.
And La Gertha and Venetian Harbor battled up front most of that race. Venetian Harbor,
Just faded.
she couldn't hold. And Good Spirits got to the rail and took to the stretch and won that.
Kentucky Downs is a throwout race for me, for like Venetian Harbor. I feel like you can do that with a lot of
I
horses.
think for almost all of them are.
Yeah, that's
I
what
mean, they got that weird turn, then they go downhill, then they go uphill, and all the undulations, and
Yeah.
so-
then the front camera when they're coming down the stretch, you have no idea who's doing what. It's just a mess.
Listen, I almost throw out Saratoga races on things, so I totally Kentucky Downs. I'm like, disregard it. I don't think you can judge Venetian Harbor on that. What do you guys think? Like, do you think so?
Yeah.
Now, that track just seems like any horse could win at any time. And maybe it's
Yeah.
the quality of the fields, but I just feel like when you're watching the races, we had Julian LaPeroux on, and he was telling us like where you get your gate and how that you can save ground because of the first turn, and there's such big advantages, and each horse may like the undulations, may not. They're unfamiliar with it. So to me, you can throw a lot of them out because the course is so different that horses may or may not take to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's true. I mean,
let's see how
our
In Good
horses out
Spirits does
here
next.
are, I mean, this is a European style track. They aren't used to that.
And it's not even European style. I know everybody says that because the grass is short and it's a hard track. So it's very different than European style. If it was like long and,
Yeah. Well,
yielding, then it would be, but.
It's the closest we have to European.
There
Yeah,
you go. Okay,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And so my internet like got really choppy. Did you mention that race 6 was a $1 trifecta, paid $4,400?
No. But that's not.
Yeah, because In Good Spirits was $3,180. But I think
Yeah.
whatever the third horse was up there too.
yeah, the Gertha.
Catch a Bid is a great name for a female horse. I don't know why. It's kind of funny. Catch a Bid. Like that's so like gangster. Catch a bid.
It's a
Like, well,
gangster
catch a
horse.
bid is, you catch a bid, you go to jail. That's catch a bid. Like
You catch a bid, you go to where?
Jail.
If you
Well,
catch a
he
bid,
told you he hung around with a lot of people who went to jail.
I
I'm not-
know.
I'm not,
That's it.
yeah, you catch a bid.
I thought it was like, I literally thought of the auction house. I never thought of.
So did
the jail.
I. I don't know.
I thought it meant
Yeah,
stock
you're a
market
bid in
stuff
prison.
because that's what they talk about in the stock market.
Yeah, when they say I gotta go do a bid, that's prison.
I
right?
thought it was BIT.
A bid?
What?
No, it's a bid.
Okay, prison talk.
No, he went away. That's all you say. He just went away. He went away.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
went away. You don't say where.
He went to Club Fed.
Yes. All right, let's go on to race 7 of the grade 3 Kentucky Downs Ladies Turf, where Princess Grace won, followed by Delika and Abscond.
Here she comes now with an inside trip as they make their way to the top of the stretch. And now she swings right outside of Sarah C. And Princess Grace has rushed up to take the lead. Sarah C. lost the whip there. Gaining ground on the outside is Shifty She. In between horses, Princess Causeway. Absconda's there. On the outside, Delika. It's a driving finish. They're trying to catch Princess Grace. The wire's coming up soon. Could she hold on? She will. Princess Grace has won it.
Sarah C., which of course I was going to bet that horse, because why wouldn't you? And they spelled Sarah right, so I had to. She set the pace. She tried. She lost her whip, and that was kind of it for her. She finished off the board. But that was Princess Grace was interesting to watch. And I'm
Impressive. Yeah.
yeah.
And she seems so small. When you see, so she broke last out of the field. She broke pretty slow. You see her break and you think this jockey is like Deshawn, like 6 foot on top of this tiny little filly. Like she doesn't look very big.
Mhm.
And she caught an inside trip. You kind of looked at the other ones and you're like, why are you not blocking this horse's path? Because she was the talk of the town for this race, wasn't she?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I thought she'd go right on the rail, but she stayed on the rail and then she caught just inside of Sarah C maybe, and really held on. And there were a couple horses that were going to close. If you had maybe a little bit more distance, she would have been beat, but doesn't matter. The line was there and she won it.
Yeah.
No,
was a good
absolutely,
race.
absolutely. That was a fun one to watch. And I did just look up, doing a bid is prison time, Rich. Not
Doing a bid.
Yeah,
Bid.
it's bid. So
Yeah, but catching a bit, I think, is stock market.
yeah,
Uh,
is it? Oh,
I think so,
Come
yeah.
on, you
Yes.
gotta listen. It's
I
like
thought
the
you called it
possible
bid,
choice.
like
You
you
gotta
got-
read all of
you got
them before you
arrested, like-
answer.
I'm
Oh,
I'm always looking at criminal stuff, apparently.
yeah.
Mhm.
I gotta be like starting
I
to worry
caught a
about
bid.
you.
I thought, yeah, I've heard people say I caught a bid. Like I got charged.
All right then.
Good friend.
Well, now that we cleared that up, let's go on to race 8, the grade 3 Fanduel Turf Sprint 6 furlongs with Gear Jockey took the win, followed by Diamond Oops and Bombard.
Bombard turning for home on the lead. Gear Jockey on the outside second, and they're into the stretch. These two are 1-2. There's still a quarter of a mile to run. Imprimis is sent along and behind them and is now up running in third. Fast Boat, Diamond Oops right there. Stubbins got Stormy trying to come through an opening in between horses. It is Gear Jockey. Gear Jockey, the one to catch, arriving at the 16th pole and in the clear from Bombard. Gear Jockey is gonna do it in the $1 million Fanduel Turf Sprint. Diamond Oops.
Ooh, Bombard. That was tough.
Once again, a weird track that like
Yeah.
two track records in a row. That's just weird to me. That's like, what's going on with the track? I don't think these horses are that much faster than everybody out there ever. That was a track record, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something.
I mean,
else.
did all of these win from the inside? I
They all
know
went up the
Prince's
rail.
Just
race
on that
definitely
race,
was.
most of them, a lot of the horses came from the outside during the meet.
Okay.
But on those races, that I think that 6 furlong race, they hadn't run one at 6 furlongs either. So they started and they went right around that turn immediately.
Mhm.
So I think the inside horses had the advantage there. On the other one too, when they were to go 6.5 furlongs, they started on that little turn and ran down the hill. On the 6 furlong one, they started down the hill right away. So you figured, and then they turned. So you figure it would give the inside horses some sort of an advantage.
Oh,
What's the grade on the hill? I know that this is a big question, but I just wonder, like, because you think downhill, you're thinking downhill, and
Yeah, you're
usually,
thinking it's
like,
steep.
to
I
gallop a
don't-
horse down a hill is not anything I want to do. So I can't imagine what it's like when you're in a field of 10 horses if the grade is even feels like a hill. It would be interesting to ask one of the jocks. I haven't.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Mm.
Like, even wonder what's the grade of the hill at Santa Anita now that we're
Mhm.
bringing that
well,
back.
that's really done. It's coming back.
We're excited
I like
about
those
that.
races.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. But let's quickly recap the last 2 graded stakes. Race 9 was the grade 2 Calumet Turf Cup, 1.5 miles, where Imperator took the win there over Arklow and Glenn County.
Has a slight lead as they come to the top of the stretch. Right alongside is Channel Cat in second. Arklow trying to fight his way in between horses. He's in traffic there, and he had to steady behind a wall of horses. Imperador is moving on the outside. Right up there, too, is Glenn County, who's coming with a rush. Imperador and Glenn County. These two emerge 1-2. Arklow trying to come back after steadying early, but he's running out of time. Imperador's got it. Imperador from Arklow, who's making a final bid. Imperador holds off an unlucky Arklow.
Arklow should have won that race. He got blocked a couple times.
Probably.
He got blocked, but he had that late gear he shifted into in the stretch, and he put up a damn good fight.
Yeah.
He did have a tough spot yet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the final race was race 10, the grade 2 Franklin Simpson Stakes, 6.5 furlong, with Learjet taking the win, followed by Easy Time and Fauci.
Top of the stretch. Into the sunrise on the inside. On the outside comes Bodenheimer. The two of them are right together. The Learjet is closing through on the inside of horses. And County Final is getting going in between rivals. Right behind them comes Easy Time as they come into the final furlong. And farthest out is Fauci. Down to the last 16th, it's the Learjet and Into the Sunrise. These two, 1-2 coming down to the wire. Late move Fauci on the outside. It's going to be the Learjet to win.
The
Isn't it-
only way I feel like you would have bet this horse is if you were just like, well, the thing's European, it's got a chance. I mean, I sat and looked at the form and I'm like, nothing on this gives me
Yeah.
any reason to throw money.
Only
Funny
angle.
thing
I
is, on
know.
our live show, there was somebody just pounding the table on that horse.
Really?
Yes,
I
they're
wonder
like,
why.
Learjet's going to win this race. I'm telling you, Learjet's going to win this race. And we're like, yeah, dude. And then I even joked because the rest of us picked like the same sort of group of horses. And I said, you know what that means? That this is an L, not loser. It's an absolute lock because we're all going against this one guy.
Yeah.
And then the horse won. We were just like, oh man, none of us had
I'm
it. We
pretty
looked-
sure that one was the inside.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one.
that was an
That was on
inside.
the inside, huh?
Yep. Yeah,
Inside favor.
Craziness.
Inside. But that is it for the graded stakes recap. Let's go on to Randy's favorite game.
All right, whose horse is ass, everybody?
Me.
And
I'm scared.
always-
We're all going to catch a bid now.
Okay, you're all gonna catch a bid. You got that right. All right, so what we're gonna do is this one is gonna be, I don't know if Rich, you did this before, but I'm gonna say a horse or I have 3 different categories, and you lock in your answer, and you have to say, and don't cheat, Okay, guys? And you say locked, one of you guys,
Okay.
because it goes down in points. It starts at 5. I give 5 clues. You want to lock at 5, you get 5 points. If you don't get it right, though, you can't answer after the thing. I'm going to take your word for it. Okay, guys? So don't cheat.
So don't Google it.
No, and don't do that either. That's just silly. I don't know if you
Well, how
could.
else
gonna
can we
get-
cheat?
I'm gonna get slaughtered.
Okay,
Oh, no,
so
I don't
I'm
know
ready.
anything about
I mean,
anything.
I'm the horse's ass champion.
No, she's gonna lose.
I always lose.
Sarah, I mean, Bri, you'll be fine. All right, so I'm gonna do 3 categories. One is horses, one is jockeys, and the other is TV personalities.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna start with horses. So remember, I'm gonna give 1 clue at a time. You can lock in at any time and you get that amount of points. So you only have 3 questions. So don't go to 1 every time because a person could beat you right away. All right.
Right.
So the first question, I'm gonna go with the category horses. So basically it's a who am I? I'm a horse. I was 2-time US Horse of the Year. No one's gonna get that, obviously. Next one. An aqueduct race is named after me. Third, no one's locking in yet? Okay, 3 points. Bill Mott,
Oh, locked, maybe.
locked. Okay, no, you can't maybe it. You're
Well,
locked.
I mean, she locked
Well,
it in. I
I'm
don't know the
locked.
answer anyway. So go ahead.
Okay,
Is it cigar?
you can't say now. I'm still going through it, Bree.
Shit.
I got it.
I
It's
was
cigar.
too excited. Is it?
Yes, it's cigar, Bree. You just won the first question though, because they would have got less points. Now you all have the same amount of points because Bree told you the answer.
I don't think that's fair because
And
we
you
didn't
missed my
know.
next-
Well, she can get all the
My
points.
next clue
Yeah.
was Shu may like to put my namesake in his mouth.
That's
I thought you got the number of points by the number of.
Yeah, but you
Clues.
say it
you
later.
gotta wait till it goes through.
Okay,
and
well
then
now
you
I know.
give
I'm
the
just
answer.
gonna.
Well, I would have gotten
I'm
0
giving-
anyway. Go
Bree
ahead.
has
I'm
2
giving
points.
myself 4 points or something.
Bree.
3 points. Okay, Bree has 3.
Okay.
So we'll give you
Okay.
guys 2 because you didn't lock in. So we'll give you guys 2.
Now, by the way, I did know this after the second one, but I was too scared.
Okay. Now this is jockeys.
Okay.
I was born and raised on the west bank of the Mississippi. 5 points. 4 points. I was going to donate 25% of my Derby earnings until my horse that was the favorite was scratched. Okay, 3 points. I've only won 1 Breeders' Cup race, and that was the Turf Sprint in 2009. All right, 2 points. I won Apprentice of the Year in 2007.
Hmm.
Oh my God. it's
I
right
think
on
I
the
think
tip
he
of
was.
my-
I think he was just on our show.
Okay, I'll
This
go
is
with-
before I even watched horse racing, just FYI.
oh, here we go with this.
I'm gonna. I'm
If
gonna.
somebody asked
I'm
me
gonna.
secretariat,
I'm
I
gonna-
wouldn't say that, Bray.
I'm gonna lock mine. I'm probably wrong on this, but I'll try. I'll lock.
Okay, all right, you're locking it too. All right, so 1, I broke the cardinal rule and I married one of the boss's daughters.
I know. I know. I'm right.
Yeah.
No, maybe not.
That gave it away.
I mean, I'll lock. I didn't think he was riding that
Oh,
young.
We're done.
Oh, I
So,
say
okay.
it?
So the answer is, Rich, because you locked at 2, what is it?
I think it. Julian LaPeroux. No.
No,
Joe
No.
you're wrong. So
Mine
you got
is 2 for
0.
me.
Sarah,
Talno.
Bree,
I'm wrong. They're not married yet. I was gonna go Tyler. They're not married yet.
Joe Talama was correct.
Oh. So he
Who
must
is
have won the
who
year
was
before.
Derby
Then
horse.
That's right.
His Derby horse was, gotta know it. Hold on.
He what? No, Talamo got
It's
super
scratch.
screwed over.
No, you know, was it? No.
Well, he was supposed to ride Midnight Bourbon, wasn't he? He got
No,
knocked off that horse. No.
Hold on, we can edit this part out, don't worry about it.
And just so everyone knows, my first horse race ever was April of 2009.
I want revenge. 2009 Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, I had no shot of that.
Yeah, me.
Oh
either.
yeah. That's right. Because then he got screwed over in this year's Derby.
Yeah, too.
Derby and Oaks.
And the
because
Oaks.
Mike Smith went on his horse for the Derby and
Tyler.
Tyler got for them took his Oaks mount.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
But he
Okay.
seems like he's having a comeback year.
I thought the
so
West
hopefully-
Bank of the
so.
Mississippi might be a good one. 'Cause
I was gonna go with Huck Finn on that, but
Hi.
Yeah, first of all,
I'll be your
wait,
Huckleberry.
Rich, Julian LaPeroux, you've said, correct? Was
I
born
did
on the West
because
Bank
I
of
think he was the
Mississippi.
apprentice of the year in like 2006.
Think of
I was
that.
off by a year.
No, Rich, you're not getting away from this. Is Julian LaPerue? Where did he get? I know Louisiana.
I mean, he's
has
probably
a
from
French
France,
accent.
but maybe I confused the rivers. So I don't know.
He is from France.
The West Bank of the Mississippi.
You know, I told you I'm having senior moments. What do you want from me?
That, apparently.
Okay, I don't even know what the score is now, but I can figure
All
it
right.
out.
I think I won.
It's low. All right, so I'm going to go with TV personalities.
Okay.
I went to college in Iowa.
Ashton Kutcher.
I'm assuming these are horse racing
Personality.
personalities, I hope.
Yeah, sorry, I should have specified for you, Frenchie.
Well, he went to Iowa State anyway. I'm sorry.
All right. My first job was at Calder.
Lock?
All right, so I was going to lock.
I don't think.
Okay,
Yeah,
you locked.
Yeah, no, yeah. Sorry.
Don't say it, Sarah. Don't say it.
Whatever you do.
Canterbury Park was
Oh.
my home track.
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
I'm not a big fan of Jerry the King Lawler.
Oh,
Are you wrong?
no, I'm totally right.
Oh, all right.
I don't even know who Jerry, whatever.
I think he's a wrestler, no?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, all right. This makes sense.
I know more about the wrestler than I do about the jockey.
Some say I am the voice of TVG.
The Voice? Oh my gosh. Is there one?
Well, isn't that where? Wait a minute.
Not the guy who cuts the promos, Rich. Like the main guy at TVG. All right. So okay. So
All right. I locked
I'll
it.
walk. I don't know if it matters, right? Probably
no, it
doesn't
doesn't.
matter.
It's
Yeah.
just guess.
Who is it?
Todd Truck.
Damn it. That was gonna be my lock, but that point.
So you got touch up too. So one. So Sarah got 4 on that one.
I did.
All
Does
right.
she win?
Rich, what did you get? Did you guys?
I got 0. I am the horse's ass. I told you in the beginning I won.
He took the title from me. I've been the
Yay.
horse's ass for
That's why you
months.
bring me on. That's it.
Okay. So that was kind of fun.
That was
guys.
fun.
I think
That was really fun.
yeah. So yeah, everybody out there, maybe I'll get the questions better next time. And I am thinking about, Bri, that we should do, and maybe I'll say it here right now, and we can put it out there. I think we do a Hollywood Squares game of horse racing, and we can do it on Zoom. I believe we can put everybody up there.
We can do
We
it.
just have to hold up the X or the O, and we could do a DGen Hollywood Squares, well, most of DGen, and then add some people like maybe Rick.
Yeah, just never
I
put me
think
in the middle because then
No, we
nobody
might
will be
make you the
able to play
host
that.
at this point, Rich. No, you're not center square. Maybe you're the host. Maybe you're the host.
I think that's a great idea.
Mhm.
So, but
All right, I'll put that on my notepad right here and make it official. Hollywood Squares.
I don't know, we call it Horsey Wood Squares or something. All right. All right.
All
so,
right.
All
Well,
right. So if we edit that out, all right, we might have to edit the whole game out at this point. But
no, that was fun.
we've learned a lot of
Aye.
things today. Bri cheats and can't understand instructions and games. Well, I don't know if you
I
cheat.
was so excited.
And there's a French area just on the shores of
West
Mississippi.
Bank.
Mississippi.
Yes, I give everybody.
You
a
know,
geography class today.
champagne comes from that region, Rich.
From Mississippi.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's a
whatever.
region. I mean,
Yeah.
it's had to be a region to call it champagne.
Some of the best champagne you can get.
Probably
I didn't
is.
think of that till later. For Andre.
Well, you know what threw me off was the Apprentice of the Year. What can I say? I wasn't even paying attention to you.
Apparently
No,
not.
He said Julian, not Florent.
Oh, he's a Julian. You didn't?
Yeah, I said
What's it?
Julian.
Who cares?
It doesn't
And
matter.
the other French guy.
Yeah.
Oh God, that was fun.
Well, yeah, that was fun. All right,
Yeah,
all right, everybody.
and thank
So,
you guys both for coming on. Bri, give them a shout out. Tell them where they could find you on social and what you're getting into.
Yeah, I mean, you can find me at Bri Mott. Sorry, I failed everyone with my full name there. At Bri Mott on Twitter. People think I'm a fun follow. I'm not. I tweeted about banana bread tonight. Quite boring. But yeah, Stableduel, like and play. And then Degen Nation obviously is just a group of straight degenerates having a good time together. So hit up that channel, and any suggestions of what you want to see, tweet it out over there, and you'll find Sarah there and Randy there quite a bit. And obviously follow the Triple Clowns and watch their shows at all times.
Oh,
So thank you for that.
Thanks,
And there's
Bri.
nothing
I got nothing to say
wrong with
after that.
banana bread. You can't beat banana bread, Rich.
No.
There's nothing wrong with
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It
okay,
smells
right?
so good right now.
Mm.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, you can follow us at Racing Radar. That's all I got. I got no banana
Yeah,
bread. I don't
you
know where
had
the
some cool-
Mississippi is. I'm done.
You had cool
ramen
jocks though,
noodles
right?
coming.
Because didn't Racing Radar sponsor a couple jocks lately with tweeting some stuff out on pants? That's awesome.
Yeah, they wear our pants. A few jockeys. do.
McCarthy.
Yeah, so Rich, tell everybody about horse racing.
Yeah, horseracingradar.com. We do a lot of we do contests. We have a lot of horse racing stories, articles. We do a live show every day at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock Eastern time, where we talk about some news like this. We don't have any Who's the Horse's Ass games yet because I just fill that role day in and day out. And then we do like pick fours. We haven't won one in a while, so we're due. So Gambler's Fallacy, you're getting in at the right time because we're about to win one of these days. And but it's a pretty good show. A lot of people are coming on the Saturday contest where we bring a lot of track data, a lot of jockey data, a lot of horse data, and then we make our picks. So it's growing pretty fast, and we're happy about that. And you can catch us at Racing Radar TV, Horse Racing Radar TV on YouTube, at Racing Radar, both on Twitter and Facebook. I don't do any of the tweeting. I'm too old for that.
I hear that. But and also, Rich, Breeders' Cup got something going on, probably, right? With the
We're
Triple
working
Crown.
on it, but I keep
Yeah.
calling these people up and they don't call me back. I don't know what it is.
So frustrating.
Story of my life.
Well, keep an eye out. Make sure you follow all of us on Twitter and hit the subscribe and like buttons on our channel, our YouTube channel. Head over to Horse Racing Radar TV. Subscribe to their channel as well. Like they just had Julian, the Mississippian, on their show last Friday, or excuse me, Thursday.
He's probably just learned that tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, hey, last week he found out he was gelded. So this week he's finding
Yes.
out he's from Mississippi.
It's
Tough
been a rough
life.
September for him.
I know, poor Julian. Oh my
I don't know
goodness.
what's worse. Sorry, everybody in Mississippi. My bad.
That's a tough
I
one.
was joking.
All right. Well, from us at the Triple Clowns at Degen Nation, thank you and see you later.